Let's talk about Howe ball, if that's a thing. Because Newcastle, once again, I didn't even think they played at their best. They didn't have to in this game.
No.
But even taking advantage of that deflection off the hand, Anthony Gordon's goal was brilliant, really well finished. Sandro Tonali ran the show, literally ran the show. He did more kilometres than any player on the pitch by a mile. And that's his role at the minute, isn't it? He watches the play, sees what's in front of him, is aware of the space around him. Tonali's a star, isn't he? He's wicked. That's to you, Miles.
Do you know who the top 3 for distance covered were in that game?
Every midfielder, probably, in
It was
Newcastle.
It was Tonali, Guimaraes and Joelinton. And that's it, isn't it? Last season, we saw them kind of struggle because of the congestion to the fixture calendar, and we talked about that a lot. Obviously, Tonali then picked up his ban. They had a lot of injuries. Now they've got a fully fit, firing squad who are relentless, and Eddie Howe has always been like that. And that's often what people accuse of being the downfall of Eddie Howe's side, that they got burnt out quickly because he plays such intense football.
Yeah.
But this Newcastle side looked ready for it, and they didn't ever let Tottenham settle. Even when Tottenham had chances, it was all very frantic, it felt like, because they're being pressed relentlessly by Newcastle. Whereas they're the opposite when they're on the ball. They're so calm with it. The way Tonali and Guimaraes in particular link up now and play the ball back and forth between them just looks so measured. And what it does is it just activates that space for Gordon and for even Murphy at the moment to get forward in those wide positions, and gives Isak that space in the 18-yard box as well, because they draw other midfielders out by being so relaxed on the ball. It's really impressive.
Yeah, that sync between midfield and attack is rare, I think, in the Premier League, especially among top clubs. There's not many clubs, bar Liverpool, that are performing that well in the final third. But Newcastle looked amazing, didn't they? And I think, Dave, for Newcastle fans, they must be now looking at higher up in the table and see Arsenal's currently sat 5 points above them and going, we could easily get second place, or, we could push higher, because our ceiling, I think, is still so high. And I think that's fair too, because it's the first time we've seen this Newcastle side fairly injury-free, without another competition like the Champions League, for example. And that intensity was there from kickoff, really. The players were running, and that wasn't possible last season when they all just looked so knackered, didn't they?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the last 10, 15 minutes, they did look like they were a little bit heavy-legged. I think they felt the pace, the effort they put in, particularly in the first 60 minutes of the game. I thought they were outstanding. They brought Harvey Barnes on, didn't see a great deal of. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Spurs being Spurs in the final third, there were at times they just weren't very measured with their final pass. Then there was that instance where they had about 3 crosses they blasted across the box, and somehow it didn't go in and take a pass, but probably just needed a measured pass to pull back. And but I just think they probably felt like they probably should have finished the game off with the opportunities that they had, particularly I think at the start of the second half. They were really, really causing Spurs a lot of issues. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll definitely be one of the favourites, I think, for Europe at the minute. And just at the right time, they're putting a run together.